conversations ranging from national interest stories, politics, trending, social issues, everything in and out of Nigeria. And all of these conversations are led by passionate young voices. Today on the show, I'm not riding solo and I'm introducing my co-anchor first before I'm introducing myself. Hello, hello, good morning. Oh yeah, you said that line. I think I almost forgot to say that line. I think I expected, or I thought we are going to have like a full house this morning, but let's say God was God. I mean, God is still God. My name is Omotoshola Sharimaki, and I'm your host for this morning. And I'm here with God's Beauty Israel, and we are going to be doing the show together this morning. This morning, we are going to be exploring and we're going to be exploring a very interesting and a part of the country that is oftentimes not talked about because this is a worldwide menace. It does not only happen in Nigeria, it happens across the globe. Across the globe, I mean. All I need to do this morning is to fasten your seatbelt and then enjoy the ride with me. We'll go on this quick break, and when we return, we'll move straight to our headlines across the globe. Please be on standby. Be back is still West Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? If you're here to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to Figure Upgrade TV, to be honest, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you're waiting for. It's the month of November. Please try to click. Then, like we always say, clicking is not just for you. It's for us as well. So please click the subscribe button, share the link to family and friends, and also engage on all our content. Today, as discussed earlier, we will be talking about human trafficking in Nigeria. But first, let's take the news from today's newspaper, and I will be starting from the New York Times. Foreign first, the Nigeria next.
All right, New York Times newspaper. By the right side of the newspaper, we have tightest contest and decades grow tighter as finish. By the left side of the newspaper, in final days, frenetic race for key states. And next to that, torrent of lies redefines political norms. Bottom of the newspaper, Love Verdi, try getting into or out of fan club. Next to that, which is the last headline on the newspaper, has Republicans may snatch Senate should a few races fall in line. So this is just to give more updates on what's really going on with the United States, elections. And it says, amid a tense political climate, around 75 million Americans have engaged in early voting for the upcoming election, with record participation in states like North Carolina, about 4.5 million, and we have in Georgia 4 million. Overall voters turnout is projected to fall between the 60% seen in 2016 and the two-thirds in 2020, still reflecting high engagement compared to previous elections. Honestly, I mean, I feel like this is definitely going to be what we expected it. But the only problem now is, I mean, they're yet to, allocate all the or put all the all the votes together.
Yeah.
So for now it's just still like on the margin line. Nobody is, superseding the other.
Yeah.
But in continuation, it says the presidential race is highly competitive with recent polls indicating Vice President Kamala Harris gaining around the North Carolina and Georgia, while Trump narrows her leads in Pennsylvania and remains ahead in Arizona. So you see that, I mean, each of them already have their own, where they're already winning, which is absolutely like normal. So I think probably before the end of today, we should probably get, you know, a very good feedback on what's really going on.
Yeah, I
And
love
that's
the
all I
fact
have for
that
you
the
on the New York
election is not
Times.
closed. We can now see it, we can perceive it, it's already in the air.
Yeah.
And it lucky feels like that's our 37th state because almost every Nigerian is monitoring it. I
Yeah.
mean, one of our sister agencies is literally mounting their camera, their OB van there just to monitor and broadcast all the way there
Yeah.
here in Nigeria. I love it. And I hope that during our own Ondo election, because that's the next election we're planning for in Nigeria, November 16, I hope that we reciprocate same energy and the election is actually free, fair, credible, and transparent. Because Ondo is
How
known
do you know that?
for vote buying. Yeah,
I-
I won't
I-
lie. We are
Okay.
known, I'm saying we are, because that's where I hail from. We're known for vote buying and telling. I mean, we don't even shy, we don't hide it. There are times that we even come to radio station and say, okay, I sold my vote for this person, but this person did not pay me. So I hope that we reciprocate the same energy for Ondo election and INEC also, because we cannot do this election on our own. I
Yeah.
also hope that INEC also firm up,
They
they
should start
tighten losing
preparing. Not
ends.
on that day now, start hearing logistics problem. And they start saying the reason why a certain polling unit start late is because of logistics problem. I consider that a very nonsensical.
Or ad hoc
So I
staff
don't even want to hear
went
it.
to eat.
Just imagine.
All right, let's look at the Guardian newspaper, which is, of course, our own Nigerian newspaper. And the major headline reads, World leaders, nations anxious as US decides Harris-Trump fate. The next one says, Tinubu tells ministers to be focused as Edu backs forex subsidy reforms. Right under it, Owando announces 55 I take that again. Owando announces 5% growth in revenue. On the end bad governance, legal note tightens on Borno minors despite Tinubu's reproof. EFCC detains Delta ex-governor Okowa for alleged 13 trillion naira fraud. Right under it, our investment in creative arts culture sector transformed, Edo says Obaseki. I'll read again. There's a news that popped up from the Southwest, which says, Oyo PDP flags APC reaction to Makinde's support governor. And the remaining story, which is the last but one, says, Rep probes NNPCL as protesters lament fuel crisis. And the last headline reads, Average truck driver loses 200,000 naira daily to gridlock inefficiencies at Apapa Port. And the one I will be talking about is on the EFCC story with Delta State Governor. I mean, I remember that if there's one state that people have assumed I come from, it's from Delta. And I also served in Delta. I think I've met the Okowa once or twice. And saying that it was detained for over 1.3 trillion naira. This is not million. This is not billion. This is trillion naira, which is, this is not 6 zeros. This is not 9 zeros. This is 12 zeros. This money is more than enough to take care of the entire people of Delta State for 2 or 3 generations to come. And one governor, which we believe to be, Governor Okowa. I mean, he has good, people say good things about him. The NYC camp at Delta State, very neat, very clean, no mosquito, unlike the usual. Very awesome. Alls, everything was so on point. So people will always say good things about him, only for us to find out that this good son of Adam embezzled 1.2 trillion naira. I'll just take the quick details. Details says the Economics and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has arrested and detained the immediate past governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa. It was gathered that Okowa was taken in custody in Port Harcourt, Rivers State yesterday over alleged misappropriation and embezzlement of billions of naira belonging to Delta during his 8 years tenure as governor. It was reportedly detained when he reported to the Port Harcourt Directorate of the EFCC on the invitation investigators handling his matter. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale, who confirmed the arrest to newsmen, refused to comment further. Okowa was arrested for alleged diversion of 1.3 trillion naira derivation fund from the federal account between 2015 and 2023. Also, the former governor allegedly failed to account for derivation funds as well as the 40 billion naira reportedly used to acquire shares in UTM floating liquefied natural gas LNG. Okowa allegedly bought 40 billion naira in one major bank in the country, representing 8% equity to float offshore LNG. This is massive. Only you embezzled 1.3 trillion naira. The same you embezzled 40 billion naira. I don't want to do the math, right? But we all know like 1.3 trillion naira plus 40 billion naira is more than enough. According to the news that I just read, and I said it is 8% of Delta's LPG offshore float, which means since this man came into office, he has been taking the money bit by bit by bit. And I'll be so pained if this matter ended up being swept under the carpet. I mean, you are putting his name out there for on national pages of newspaper. And I also hope that you do justice at the end of the day. I don't just want to see allegedly it was cleared or the case died or something. Let's see to the end. Oh, he was found guilty. Enough of allegedly. I was found guilty, and according to the law, I think immunity no longer covers him, right? Let him serve the term. But this is Nigeria. Everything is predictable.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just feel like all the things you've just said now, I mean, it's something that we will know that for sure that, I mean, these things would happen. The story would end pretty soon. I mean, you know, one thing with the newspaper is they try as much as possible. They already have, like, their correspondents and all in all these places. Yes. So even when we see it in the newspaper, sometimes they do everything possible to get those news out. Trust me when I say that. If we don't read the newspaper, I mean, none of us will know what these things are happening because it's always swept under the carpet. So that is already done. So, I mean, the fact that we just know that is to just understand that, oh, these things still happen. Even people that we feel like, oh, they are good, they are doing well, they still will find their way of, you know, getting money that is supposed to be actually used for the people. We'll be all right eventually.
I think I would direct this to the CJ head, Kekere Okun. She is the newly elected Chief Justice of Nigeria. And I really hope that, according to the promises you made to the Federal Republic of Nigeria and to Nigerians, you actually keep to them and stick to them. Ensure that the justice system in Nigeria is upheld and is way better than you met it. Yes, you've been justice for a couple years before you ended up being the CJN, but try as much as possible that the law is not above everybody. The law is above everybody. Either you are ex-governor, ex-minister, or ex-senator. If you are found guilty of any offense, ensure that each criminal, can I use that word? Each criminal is actually duly punished.
Or suspect.
Not the suspects or punished.
We cannot call them criminal here since the law is not...
What's the name of this governor? Is it Yahya
Bello?
Till today, we're still doing back and forth. I remember during Farashide, and then I used to cover court report. We'll go to Ikeja. Today, you will hear say, the lawyer refused to bring one document. This case has been suspended to the next 3 months.
Even the Bobrisky issue that, I mean, just yesterday, Bobrisky is in London.
Is flying first class.
I don't even know what's going on with that matter. EFCC investigating EFCC. EFCC arrested him. How is he outside the country? Like, how many hours was that? I beg.
I so much believe in the new tenor of the CGN. Maybe because she's a female. I want to trust that she will do better.
Oh, yeah, now,
I know there's no sister code, but I want to believe that she will do better. All right, let's take this quick break and we'll be returning with the conversation for today. Please be on standby. I'll be back shortly.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we'll connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Glad to have you back on the show. It's still Ways Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? That youth inclined breakfast show. As aforementioned, today's show will be centered on human trafficking ring in Nigeria and the world at large. The human trafficking, as at last week, 24th October 2024, 17 Nigerians trafficked into Ghana has been rescued and returned into Nigeria, with 5 of their traffickers arrested. The rescued women aged 18 to 29 came from various Nigerian states, including Anambra, Abia, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Imo, Edo, and Ebonyi State. They were reportedly lured to Ghana under false promises of employment and subsequently forced into exploitative situations and sworn into secrecy. We're diving into a crucial topic that impacts both lives locally and globally, addressing the menace of human trafficking in Nigeria. And according to recent statistics, Nigeria is one of the top countries affected by human trafficking, with over 1 million individuals trafficked annually and worldwide. International Organization for Migration estimates that there are approximately 25 million victims of human trafficking worldwide, highlighting a pressing global issues. Human trafficking is now the talk of every corner, be it in Nigeria and out of Nigeria. So today we're going to be asking and we're going to be looking at what leads people to fall victim to this heinous crime. Is it economic hardship? Is it lack of education? Is it vulnerability? Or other significant factors that will be talked about? And we're going to open a conversation now. God's beauty, human trafficking. First, I am so passionate about this conversation because during my service here a couple years ago, I served under the National Agency for NAPTIP, National Agency for People Against Human Trafficking, and all through the community development services I did there, I saw different cases of trafficked victims. And the movies that was, as a lover of documentary, Fisayo Shoyombo did human trafficking, the one he went to Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
I've seen BBC News, the one he went to Qatar. Is it Qatar? There's a country between Egypt and Arab. I think it's Oman, yes. I've seen BBC's reports, documentary on Oman. I've seen Eyes of Africa documentary on different trafficked people. And okay, let's even come down to Nigeria. Our popular movie Oloture, which publicly explained what human trafficking looks like in real time. And a lot of things goes on in my head when I'm watching this movie or watching these documentaries. I mean, I overthink it because you decide to leave Nigeria because, or maybe you owe debt, or maybe because there's nothing, you feel like there's nothing left for you here, or maybe you're just unfortunate to be on the good side of the world and you decide to just join one Madame Alero, because I'm so sorry for mentioning Alero, but that's like usually what they bear, like one Madame Alero or Malam Garba, and you're asked to pay like some $10,000 or some £10,000, and you have to sleep your way through to even gather the money. After gathering the money, they put all of you in one bus. They are driving you to one bush, from Seme border to this one border, from this one border, and then you get to a place. They are making everybody so into secrecy. They are doing so many undespicable things to people, and it's no fun at all. The painful part is when you end up getting there, you find out that the Nigerian you left here is way better than this place, and then you are already stranded. Because when you get there, some Arabs that they know that you're stranded, they know that you came to this country for a particular reasons, they'll start to take advantage of you. They will just start making use of you for sex trade. Some will end up using you for farm reasons, labor, and all of that. I think I stated something down here. There are different types of human trafficking, ranging from sex trafficking, labor trafficking, child trafficking, organ trafficking, domestic servitude, trafficking for exploitation, criminal activities, and also marriage trafficking. God's beauty, let's talk about the different types of trafficking. Okay, let me ask you, have you ever witnessed or heard of a close story where someone was trafficked, maybe intentionally or unconsciously?
Okay, so I don't think I have any personal story to that, but I mean, I'm a good reader, so I think I've read a whole lot of books concerning it. All right, and I will start with this. So I think the main story coming to my head is this story of a girl that she's in the village and all of that. So that speaks to the fact that some people are uneducated and you know this mindset of, oh, it's in Lagos that things are happening, or it's outside the country that things are happening. So I'm very sure most of us are very conversant with this story that I'm about to tell. And there's this auntie that we used to go to Lagos and all. And okay, she spoke to her mom that okay, instead of her staying in the village and all, it was important that she live for Lagos with the auntie and all, so that she can make money and bring back to the house. Not knowing that the auntie was actually into prostitution and all of those things. And that's how she traveled with this auntie. And this auntie wasn't even going to Lagos. She was going outside the country. So I think one of those African countries, right? And she went there. Now she has to when she tried looking for, a very good job and all of that, first of all, she's uneducated. So there's no how she should be able to get a good job that she'll be able to, send back home. And when the auntie told her that, auntie, what I actually brought you here is to come and do prostitution. That's the only way you can make money and send to the house and also pay me for transporting you to this place. So she didn't have a choice but to, go with the trend that's going into prostitution or something around that, or probably getting people that she's going to, more like organ harvesting and all of that, and all things like that, So she had to start involving herself in all of these things in order for her to, be able to pay the woman. Because even the woman said, even if you want me to send you back to your village, you would have to pay me first for me to send you. So all of those things, she didn't have a choice but to go into that life. I remember one other story about someone, I think it's something I read on social media also, where she felt like, okay, she's not really making sales, she's not making money here in Lagos. She felt it was important to travel outside the country. I think even this guy, what's his name? David Udain, that his book too has something like that.
He exposed them.
Yeah. So she actually traveled outside the country because she felt like, okay, one of the African countries as well. So she felt like she was going to, make her ends there. She went there. At first, she got a job and she was, making sales and all of that, getting money and all. So the day she had made enough, so she felt like, okay, let me travel down back to Nigeria so that I can, help my mom with a business or something, open a business for her or something. She came back, she did everything she needed to do. Now, while traveling back, she got back and she found out that in her house, when she got home, she found out that her house, someone has actually robbed her of a whole lot of her things actually. The fridge that she has is not there, the TV is not there, almost everything in the house is gone. She reported to the police station, right? And she suspected few persons. So at the end of the day, the person she suspected is someone that's related to the policeman. So they now twisted the conversation, and put her in prison. So the only way that she could actually come out was for her to now go straight back again into prostitution so that she can pay this guy, she can pay the police guy, because the policeman said, the person she held responsible for the whole robbery and all is related to the police person. So the police guy felt insulted that why will you be holding my sister and all of that responsible for who came to rob you and all. So they put her in prison and told her that she has to pay a certain amount of money. So the only way she can actually pay that, because she don't have money as that, she just came back from, Nigeria and all, and she felt like it's this time for her to make money. And now they have to keep her in prison, so she has two things. And then go into prostitution to get money to give the policeman or remain in prison. So the only way she could now pay this guy was to go to, start doing prostitution and all of that. And so there are just many stories like that.
This is really sad. I remember seeing an Indian movie where, this trafficking is in different forms. You might intend to travel, normal traveling, and you will just fall prey to traffickers.
Yeah.
This person, there were two brothers, they traveled between India from one Indian state to another Indian state. And when they got to the airport, they were waiting for their brother to pick them up as planned, right? They waited there for a long time. The brother wasn't coming, his phone wasn't going through, and everything. And I think this day after is a public holiday, so they all have to leave the airport. And one man just drove to the airport, innocent, and asked them, there was this language barrier. So what do you want to come and do? Blah, 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 in that language. And they showed him the passport that, okay, they were waiting for their brother. They are new in that country. And the man said, okay, no problem. Let me take it to your brother. Collected their passport, took them in the car. And, I mean, you don't want to know what happened. He took them to a desert.
What?
I mean, a proper desert. Like 100 kilometers away from... Nobody can even look for them to that place. So in the desert, they feed cows, feed sheep, and they sleep on the sand, they drink on the sand, they drink the milk. It was terrible. I mean, the man was there for like 10, 20 years of his life, and that's how the man does it. It will just go to the airport, pick innocent people, take them to the desert, and it will recruit them, and it will just keep going around in circles. And it's so bad. And I want to ask the question, because let's just start the conversation. What do you think are the primary factors contributing to the rise of human trafficking in Nigeria? Because this is our home country.
I mean, it's a few things. I mean, these things are actually very visible. People that are uneducated, poverty. I mean, look at the way the economy is right now.
Do you think uneducated is?
Yeah, it's part of it.
Okay.
Because tell me why you would want to actually travel with someone that you're not very sure what their source of income is. So there's also that naiveness of, oh, this person has money, this person is looking good, this person is this person is that. Yeah. And you forget to do your background check and all of that. There's also the, like, I feel like when I'm talking about educated, I'm talking about both formal and informal. Yes. Right? There are people that are not well exposed.
Street wiseness.
Exactly. Because, I mean, there are just some kind of people that when I see like this, I already know that these people are certain kind of persons. Nobody needs to tell you. You don't need a soothsayer to explain that to you. Do you get what I'm saying? So, like when people are well exposed, when people are educated, formal and informal now, they'll be able to, assess these things, know what it is about before you jump in because the person is looking good or the person is looking all nice and all. Then I think poverty as well. Poverty is a huge factor because tell me, if you have money, there'll be no need of you going to go and look for somebody that already has money and you don't even know what they are doing. Do you get what I'm saying? And most people that are already involved in this business is because they consider it a fast way of making money. Yeah. Exactly. Like these people that is into organ harvesting and all of that. Those people are just, they have that mindset of, oh, number one, I've met someone that said that we are too plenty in this country. Yeah. Yeah, so anybody...
One of our world leaders so believe that we should sell out plants or some things and just reduce the population of people, just reduce birth control. And it's so crazy.
So there are people with that kind of mentality as well. So that's why most of them go into this, organ harvesting. They go into this prostitution business and all of that. So yeah, there are just so many reasons, to be honest. But I think major is poverty. The fact that the economy starts with unemployment, but there's no money. Yeah. The youth are stranded. Don't forget that. I mean, they said an idle man is the devil's workshop. Yeah. So you graduate from school probably 10 years or 20 years ago, until now you've not done anything reasonable with your life. Trust me when I say that. If somebody comes and says, what you just need to do is to just lure girls into this hotel, we'll do the rest, I'll pay you this amount. Trust me, they want to do it.
Now, let's talk about the local communities, because they are oftentimes more affected, badly affected. I mean, look at this BBC report and documentary I saw about people in Oman. They go to the northern part of Nigeria, where they are impoverished, they are suffering, they are living from hand to mouth. Yeah. Bandits can come today and destroy all they've put up for years. So they'll go to the north, people that are suffering, then they'll promise them heaven, and then they promise to take them to Oman. They'll be going to be Shangala. Shangala is housemaid in their own language. Yeah. So when they get, they'll be Shangala, and then they'll be able to save up and send money home. And on getting to Oman, I would not even say this is another type of trafficking, because when they get there, their boss starts to harass them. Their boss, they are Shangalas, right? Their boss starts to molest them. Their children beats them. The boss wife beats them. In fact, I've seen it before on Instagram where they sell Shangalas. So I've seen a post before where they said, okay, if you want to buy my Shangala for this particular dirhams, I think how they spend it, and they dehumanize they spit on you, they do so. I see it on TikTok very well. I mean, if you use TikTok, I see girls saying, I'm in Shangala in Egypt, this, I'm in Shangala, I can't, they don't have access to their phones, they press their phones in hidden places, and I feel like this is something their intention, the right was intentional. I think they were aware of where they were going. They just did not know how much it's going to be. I saw a girl not long ago traveling to Bangladesh. These trending talks, and we were doing 10 days to go, 8 days to go, and our family was at the airport crying because a girl is going to Bangladesh. And sorry, Baghdad, not Bangladesh, Baghdad. That's Pakistan, if I'm not mistaken. What are you looking for? Even if you are staying in Ogbomoso in Nigeria, what are you looking for in Baghdad, in Pakistan? Later, you will not say we should nap tip. Ayabika Debriere should stand up and come and release people that are in one settlement in Pakistan. How are we supposed to get there to come and rescue you? So what do you think the communities need to do better to protect their girl child? Because it often happen to girl child. Yeah, it happens to the male folks too, but it's more common.
So I think speaking to local communities, we have like the local government, right? Those are like people at the grassroots level. Those are people that are supposed to be helping. They're supposed to be organizations that are taking care of all of these things. Yeah. If people are well sensitized about this human trafficking, I'm not saying that people don't know about it, but a lot of people don't know what the ways are like. People don't like. It's just like the girl you're talking about. I mean, if she's not a reporter or an investigator, I don't know what you're going to do there. Again, but what if probably somebody there has probably told her that, oh, if you come to this place, because there's always this, if you come to this, most of the people that travel outside the country, most of them, like majority of them, it is, if you come to this place, you'll make money. If you come to this place, it's just like during the time, I think the whole Dubai, whatever, has actually dropped now.
Yeah.
Unlike earlier this year, last year, is even this year. I think last year,
early last year.
Yes, you would always hear this, now Dubai they rain now. If you come to Dubai, you make money. If you come to this, you do.
You don't want to hear what they do in Dubai.
Not until we hear that, the girls that go there, they are paid 1 million naira to actually sleep with dogs, to eat their feces and all. So there's just a lot of things like that.
Do we call that trafficking as well? That one is trafficking.
Probably self, because those ones, they'll tell them what it is. So it is on you to actually go back to your country. Do you get what I'm saying? Majority of the stories I heard are girls that, your friend is outside the country and they speak to them, oh, how far now, how is this place? They say, see what they do, see what they do. So most of them feel the urge to, or they find it necessary to, travel outside the country to do it. So I don't think that, the fact that you're not forced to do that and they did not lie, they just told you how it is here, and you by yourself, you decide that you want to do something like that because of the money. So yeah, I don't see how that is.
Let's take a coffee break. When we return, I want us to look at the role of the law enforcement agencies, because they are also a part of this ring. They are the one that are being tipped at different borders. They are the one protecting this Madam Alera, and their flight goes in and out freely. So we're going to talk about the role of law enforcement agencies, the upper echelon in the entire human trafficking ring. Please stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Glad to have you back. You're still on to West Breakfast, as what are you saying? And we are still having a conversation around human trafficking. We're asking the question, what lost people? Why do people fall victim to human traffickers? And before I went to that break, I said we're going to be talking about the local authorities, the police, the politicians, and their role in the entire human trafficking ring, because it's a ring, it's a cabal, it's a circle of people. It is not just Madame Alera alone. Madame Alera has somebody at the airport, she has somebody at the border, she has guys that works with her, she has policemen that protect her, she has people, she has senators that she's delivering the returns to, right? I mean, based off the movies and documentaries I've seen. So it is not a one person thing. Even human trafficking, organ harvesting, you'd be surprised that what do they use these organs for?
They sell them now.
Who are those buying them? Person will never chop breakfast feed buy organ. Do you understand? Let's talk about the awareness. If there's one thing NAPTIP did for me then was it taught me how to educate people, and I was able to reach out to a lot of people on the awareness of human trafficking. It's that we started from primary schools, we went to different primary schools, we taught them that you should not follow anybody you don't know home, and then and teachers in schools, school principals, ensure that the parents of each child calls to release their child to anybody. If possible, do a video call. We taught the children, we go to the marketplaces, we educated the market women, we carry placards in and out. But now that we are on a national television space, God's beauty, from your legal perspective, what are those awareness tips you think people should know? And I'm saying people, I'm talking about both underage, because underage are being trafficked for child pornography, and which is one of the most paid sector in the sex scene that people often don't talk about. They traffic kids for child pornography, and traffic adults for either sex trafficking, labor trafficking, or even organ harvesting. So what are those basic awareness tips that people should know or suspect? Okay, this is a red flag.
So I think it's just you being cautious. Let's even start with that. Okay, let me start with this. I think having, just like you're calling this organization now, if we can have communities like this, like ones that are on the face of people, it would actually help. It would go a long way, right? Now, tips people should, I don't know. Again, it falls back to the fact that there's poverty in the land, there's hunger in the land. Most people are let me not call places now or names, but we still have high number of people that are uneducated, people that are not learned, and all of these things. But if we are able to, teach these people, if we have communities that explain to these people that these things exist, right? You don't just believe anybody that just open their mouth and say something.
Yeah.
If you tell me today, I'm actually not even a fan of travels, to be honest, and I don't even know why. But I know that no matter how somebody wants to tell me how sweet a certain country is, I will not think of living in this country. And I really don't know why it's like that, but I just know that because you're able to find your fit outside there doesn't mean I will be able to do that as well. Do you get? I've heard cases of people that sell all their landed property. In short, many people even consider it now as a very stupid thing to do. You sell all your property, you're a landlord here, you have 2 houses and all of that. and you travel outside the country, you don't even know what their income is like. You don't have a job yet. You just travel there and you think you'll be able to just, boom, make it and all of that. At the end of the day, you're coming back a wretched man. But that's out of it. If the fact that people outside there tell you how sweet it is there doesn't actually mean it's actually sweet. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like these are also things you should be conscious of. If you don't know this person, I don't think you should give that person 100% of your time. Even if you want to, you should do a background check. Understand what exactly they are doing there. There are some countries, I don't want to call name, but there are some countries that this human trafficking and all
that's
is
major,
exactly, that's what they do there more. So if you are leaving Nigeria to that country, you should be self-aware of the kind of country you're going to. What exactly do they do there? I was telling you that, I remember this to be like 2 years ago or so. I was in a bus and this girl was having a conversation with someone on the phone. You need to see how she was screaming. She was pained. You know when somebody is pained? She was pained. She just came back from Dubai and she was shouting. She was like, you go no say this one, they vex, she dey para. And she was telling that person that if person tell me, say, make I no go Dubai that time, I for actually no go because which one be say they go and so they go, they talk, say, if you go there, you go make money. If you go there, you go do this. Now, so what exactly happened was the fact that she had someone, like, she had like, what do they call it? Is it contractors now? I'm trying to remember the name. Agent, God bless you. So she had an agent that she has already sent money to. This person, according to her, this person has already gotten a job for her and all of that, gotten her a house and all. Not knowing that this person is actually from one night. That one too, they survive me. He will do everything possible to also make money. So by the time she got to Dubai, she called the agent's number, Organo Peak. That's where the whole stranded whatever started. Yeah. So she had to start sleeping on the road, on the roads there. Then I think there's also like a camp there that Nigerians stay and all.
You pay per night.
Exactly. So she had to go and stay there. That place is actually, according to her, it's already more like they're standing. So they're all jam-packed, they're together because there's so many there. And that's the problem. When you just hear that, oh, somebody is doing well there, they're doing this there, they're doing that there, you just have that notion of, I want to go there, without doing a background check on what exactly to do there. I remember when I was in the radio station one time and we were having a conversation around this whole Dubai thing, right? And I also remember when I was reading through the do's and don'ts when you get there. It's also clear there that you cannot dress a certain way. You cannot look a certain way. There are a lot of people that don't even know these things. Do you get? So I think you being self-aware of the country you're going to, being self-aware of the person that is telling you to come there and you will make it. This person, as the person made it, have you seen this person in real? Yeah. Do you understand? How long did it take this person to do it? Because most of them that are even there, we're talking about human trafficking, the people that do drugs too. Yeah. Majority of them in the US, in the
Dubai,
UK.
If there's one thing Nigerians, I don't want to mention a tribe, but there's a particular tribe of Nigerians in Dubai that this is what they do. And it's so sad because they are tarnishing the image of Nigerians. Yeah. Now let's talk about international bodies. The same way we have NIDCOM, which is in charge of Abikela Bireroba, in charge of international and all of that. Don't you think we need to have more non-compromised international bodies to help fight human trafficking across the globe?
To be honest, in very advanced countries outside the country, I actually think they do already. But again, this is where it takes us to the higher authorities. Majority of the people that are into drugs and all, trust me when I say that there's one big man somewhere that is sponsoring this whole thing. Same goes to the human trafficking. Even the Madame Alero you are talking about, and the Madame Alero has someone she's also paying to, trust me, that is also in the government circle. Yeah. Do you get? Same goes to the human trafficking you're talking of. There are people that, there's a long chain. Do you get? There's a very long chain. Okay, let me even give you this story, right? So I don't know if you've been checking on social media, all these people that NAFDAC have been holding responsible, NDLA has been holding for drug trafficking and all of that. You need to see where these people hide drugs. Like in my widest imagination,
I saw one,
on my widest imagination, I would never actually even think of people having to do those kind of things. Somebody would, a boss now, Korope, the way Korope is, there's one, like the boot part. They just open one side and put drugs there. Like, it only takes dogs, like
To
dogs
sniff
to
it.
sniff and know that, okay, something here is off. To be honest, like the way these people traffic drugs, trust me, it's not one person that came up with that idea.
Yeah.
It has to be a lot of people that have come together and say, okay, this is how we are going to, traffic this
So how
thing.
do we now fight this thing? Because
Again,
it's getting worse by the day.
see, it's just like Nigerian problem. It's just like a Nigerian problem where we keep talking about corruption. As far as people that are supposed to even be the ones fighting against this thing are up there and they are the ones sponsoring it, how you won't take fight time? The least you can do is to fight people that is within the chain.
Yeah.
But you will not reach up there. Today, you talked about what's his name now, that actually embezzled certain amount of money.
Yeah,
Trust
Okowa.
me, in the next 2-3 days, we not go hear that story again. Even the newspaper itself have moved on.
Let's talk about these Ghana people that was released last week. About 17 of them or so. They were trafficked to Ghana. When they got there, they were made to swear into secrecy. They were made to start doing rubbish. Although 5 of the traffickers were arrested. And of course, bringing them back to Nigeria, they would have gone through 1 or 2 traumas. Right. I don't think there's a support system for traffickers in Nigeria, apart from bring them to the airport, give them 10,000 naira each, a bottle of water and apples. I think that's what NIDCOM does. There's not like a mental therapist or a life coach to help them, which I feel like we should. Because now this is a personal story.
Okay.
Somebody has reached out to me for that. Oh, you teach English. They're looking for English teacher in Oman. I say Oman that I've watched documentary of.
Well,
He said, no, he's a trusted person. Mira, trust me. You know I'm a pastor. Okay, this person is actually a pastor. So he's like, no person. He said, if I studied English, I would have gone. But because I studied French, you studied English, that's why I'm recommending. And you don't even have to pay. You can just pay 1 million. When you get there, I say, I should first pay 1 million. When I get there, I'll not be sending more. These are clear red flags that I've seen in documentaries. So one thing I would advise everybody is don't listen to your mind.
yeah.
I honestly feel like our mind, learn. Because I don't think discernment is something you can learn, but listen to your mind. Don't not overlook the red flags. Mira, don't worry. When you get to Oman, you just pay 1 million here. They will pay for your flight ticket. They will pay for everything, accommodation. When you get there, you start sending money, and you pay up the person. To me, if you ask me, it's a red flag. A company that will send you an all expense paid trip. Now, from beginning, they go tell you all expense paid. Not, oh, you paid 20%. When you get there, you pay the remaining 15%. No. All these small tips like, okay, you go and bring $10,000. That's even much. Pay $75. Don't worry, just save it in 3 months. Okay, first go and do passport first. All those small things, please do not overlook it. And do not be desperate to leave your current situation. You might be in debt. You might be going through 1 or 2 not even to, you can be going through plenty issues. Just try to ensure that it's better for you to be here in Nigeria, to be drinking Gary, than to be in another man's country and be drinking Gary. So I also then back to the conversation of why is it that there are no support systems for trafficked victims? And when they finally gain their freedom, telling their stories at times, you'll be sobbing on their behalf. Why are there no support systems, therapists, life coach? The way we have NIDCOM giving them help, money, bringing them back, evacuating them. Don't you think NIDCOM should also extend to enlightening them about life? Yes, you've gone through this problem, like a rehab, exactly.
So I think we would start with funds. But again, this is not me trying to be a wicked person or selfless, or I don't even know. But to be honest, most of these people that travel outside the country, I'm not sure you seek anybody's help before you travel there. That's why you being enlightened and all of those things are important. But now let's come back to one of the reasons why some of these communities or some of these organizations don't, go ahead with even taking care of, like bringing therapists and all of them for them to take care of these victims, right? These human trafficking victims and all. I think it's because sometimes it could be funds. If there's no proper backup, if there's no good partnership from the government and all of that. I mean, now wait till you get, now you go give another person. Do you get? So most of the times it's funds. Most of the time they might not even really really understand what these people are actually going through. Let's give the whole mental health, whatever. Before now, if you tell your mommy that I'm having a headache, or I'm feeling a certain type of
You
way.
don't
So,
press
yeah,
phone
just
too
take,
much now.
exactly. Or you don't probably you stay up late. So why you not go feel like this way? Why would you not feel tired and all of that? They don't get to understand that, oh, you're also working apart from those other normal stuff you were doing, right? So I think it's also enlightening them to understand that, okay, these people will actually feel this certain way.
Yeah.
They'll be messed up mentally and all of these things. So they will not need, therapists and all of those people. They will need people to speak to. They will need people to, help them out with whatever they're already going through and all of that. So I think also enlightening these organizations as
Helps.
well would actually help. But again, I think like the major is funding, partnership. If they are not able to get, even if they are not even able to get the license gone, in cases where probably whoever that you need the funding from, or you need the partnership from, they would also want to look at, whoever that wants to give you money is looking at the end profit for them.
Yeah, the
So
prospect.
exactly.
ROI.
So they will also want to look at what they will gain from whatever. But if you're able to get, I feel like that's just their major challenges, like the funding, the partnership. But if they're able to get that, they'll be able to, take care of those girls very well.
As we begin to wrap up, do you know religious leaders and community leaders have a role to play in all of these things? And this is why I feel like, as community leader, as religious leader, the preaching every Sunday should not only be about Jesus is coming soon, give your life to Christ, so pay your tithe, pay your offering. You should also have conversations around, please do not let your children go to places they are not sure of. Do not release your children to families that you cannot trust, to places you cannot say, okay, let me go and check up and see how you're doing. There's even there's local trafficking, where you will sell your children to one auntie to go and be living under, and the auntie will be using your child as a maid, beating your child, molesting your child, doing different wrong things to your child. So as religious leaders, community leaders, let's ensure that we are educating people, we're raising awareness that human trafficking at any point, at any level, is not good. And to the real question, which is the topic of the day, is why do people fall victims to human trafficking? No matter what the problem or the reason can be, it is better, like my own principle of life, it is better to be broke and happy than to be smiling in debt. There are some debts that, okay, they are necessary debts, but unnecessary debts, based on your neck, I honestly don't see reasons why you should be taking loans upon loans and you're smiling. It's not for you to be broke and be happy. There's this peace of mind that comes to the fact that, okay, at least nobody is calling you, or nobody can show up at your workplace and pay me my money, just give me my money. Right. So my final thoughts is, just stay in your country. Or if you're traveling out, do your due diligence. Be sure of what you're going to do. As agents and travel agents, they are like this. They should be named linos because they lie a lot. They will promise you heaven on earth. Don't worry, it's work permit. When you get there, you'll be working in one company. All you need to do is just be doing shift job. Please ensure, make research, go online. If you have one or two persons there, tell them to help check out for this company. Do they really exist? Because some people do not plan to be trafficked. They will get there and they will get stranded. And from there, they want to do something. Because you cannot come back. You don't say they go US. Or you don't say they go Dubai. You can't come back Nigeria. Nothing.
Well, it's
Do
better for you to
understand?
come back, because
If you
again,
have
if you
it's
even
better for
have
to
if you
come
have
back
the
home.
money, again, it's
Yeah,
not if you have
flight
the money.
ticket. But
Some
you
people
can
that
request
travel
for
outside
deport
there, they
now.
already say everything that is here. They don't even have anything here.
Anything.
You'll be all right.
Let's take your
I
final
mean,
thoughts.
Final thoughts. See, like I've said this before. Probably it's just probably it's because I am probably exposed to certain things, and I'm probably just in my line of work, or I'm in my dreams already. I really don't know, but I know that traveling outside the country is not like a priority for me, and I understand the whole the country is not moving, the country is not this, the country is not that. But have you also checked that there are people that are actually making money here in the country?
Yeah.
So there are ways to this thing. You should be conscious. What exactly are you going for? You should, put yourself into it. Be ready to do certain things, right? I feel like there's this mindset of things are not working here in Nigeria and things are working outside there in Nigeria. That's why most of them are always that's why everybody wants to japa. But if you not look at people, just like the way the saying goes, there's beggars everywhere.
Yeah.
Even outside the country you're traveling to, there are
You will
people
meet
on the
beggars.
street as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So try as much as possible to ensure that you can actually still, with the economic situation in Nigeria, you can still strive. But again, if you feel like traveling outside the country is something that would work or is something that would help you more, achieve your games and all of these things. What I would not advise is before you travel there, you should be able to get your job. You should be able to, get some, like, when you get there, you don't feel stranded. You are able to work. You have something going on for you. Yeah. And again, I don't think I agree with you selling all your properties and all of that. For those that have, at least sell one and do travel. Just in case anything did not work, you can come back and, start afresh. But those ones that sell everything and go there, I mean, that's why there's always this mindset of, I cannot come back because there's nobody here for me, there's nothing here for me. And you now want to do everything. I mean, end of the day, you either go into drugs and you see yourself in the prison, and there's just a whole lot. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when you're caught for the old drug trafficking, you will still be deported back. Yeah. So it's better you just, if you go there and it's not working for you, you just come back and, start afresh. It's not big deal at all. Yeah. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Thank you very much, God's Beauty.
Thank you so much.
And to you, our viewers, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can also interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, share this link to family and friends. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?